So Robyn, when I say Phoenix to you, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Debacle. Debacle comes to mind first. Obviously, with Phoenix, it's been so incredibly frustrating that you can't call it anything other than a debacle. I think the difficulty with Phoenix is that we told the government that they shouldn't go ahead with it. I mean, you have to backtrack many years when the Conservatives were first talking about doing pay administration. And so when they started to talk about it, and then they laid off our members and did the WFA, we knew that there were going to be problems. Then along comes the election, October 2015. So we think a Liberal government, they won't go ahead with this. But of course they did, even though we warned them over and over and over again that there were problems with the system and problems with how they were unrolling it. Certainly this government doesn't want it, and right now they're finger pointing between the Conservatives and the Liberals, the whodunits. Well, it doesn't matter who done it now, it's done. Let's fix it. You know, we need to work together and ensure that every member, every one of their employees, whether they're PSAC members or not, get a full paycheck. So for me, when I talk about working together, it's about the government actually taking into consideration what the union is saying. So we've had many opportunities. We have a National Union Management Consultation Committee. I think we've met about 10 times. I think that they've been receptive because, quite frankly, I'm sure that they're embarrassed. Because it's not just you know, our members who know that they're not getting paid. Canadians across this country from coast to coast to coast know that the federal government is not able to pay their workers. So in terms of the list that we put on the website, we put it there because our members were so frustrated. And sometimes when our members get in that mood, if you will, they're not necessarily mad at the employer or the government the way that they should be. They seem to get mad at the union. And so I wanted them to understand everything that we have done. So there's a number of issues that I think are really important. And one of them is if you've been out of pocket, for example, if you know, nobody likes to say that they had NSF checks, but if you had interest on your credit card because you were having to pay your mortgage using your credit card, or you have to take out a loan, the government will pay that. And I don't think that a government readily steps up to the plate like that unless they're pushed. And so I'm really proud that PSAC and the other National Joint Council unions said that this is what we need from you. We need you to rectify this situation. We need you to pay our members when they're out of pocket. We need you to send letters to the financial institutions to say that you screwed up and that you're not paying your employees, and that's why they're late on their mortgages. So there's a number of things that I think that we've worked on that are really important that I don't believe that our membership is fully cognizant of. And so you can put all the lists in the world, on all the websites in the world, but it takes talking to the members to let them know what we've actually done and how they should avail themselves of those opportunities to be repaid by this government. So we haven't done enough. I get many emails like that, and I get many conversations like that. And I appreciate what they're saying because we have members that want to walk out. But then conversely, you have members who are afraid to walk out because if you have any leave without pay, now you're going to be part of that Phoenix debacle. So it's kind of a multi-pronged sort of attack, if you will. They're angry, and what better place for them to be angry at than at the union? And so when I talk to them, I always say to them, you need to put your anger and channel it to the real people, to your employer. It's the union didn't stop paying you. The employer stopped paying you. And so while I understand the frustration, and I'm as frustrated as anybody, I think that they need to be talking to their member of parliament. And our membership sometimes gets a little bit annoyed when I say, you know, have you talked to your member of parliament? Have you phoned your member of parliament? Because they're always like, well, that's all you want us to do. But that's where the leverage is. I think that that's the important part. But I have to say that when Mr. Trudeau was going across the country and having his town halls, Phoenix sort of followed him, if you will. Our members were there, and not just our members, other union members who were not getting paid, and they stood up and they said, what are you going to do about it? Okay, so here we are, June 2017. we've had this mess now happening for over a year, this Phoenix mess. We have asked for a number of things. We've taken the government to court, and I think that, you know, I get many emails from members who say we should take the government to court, or conversely, those who do know that we've taken them to court, why did you drop the court action? We have not dropped the court action. We have a writ of mandamus, it's called. We have put it in abeyance until the fall of this year. We had several issues that we wanted the government to fix, and that was for maternity leave, parental leave, and those going on DI, because they're the ones out of the workplace, had no one to turn to, not getting any money because there was no record of earnings, there was no top-up. So, you know, we've made provisions for them. We've made provisions now for emergency pay and for salary advancement for those in the workplace. Our members need to avail themselves of those opportunities. And the problem with Phoenix, as I understand it, is that even though you get a salary advance today, for example, if it's payday, and then in 2 weeks you get your full paycheck, they're going to take that full paycheck to pay the salary advance. So it's really a shell game. It's like I don't want to say a comedy of errors, but that's how it seems to be with this system. So what we're looking at is we want the government to do the salary advances or the emergency pay and do the repayment in a proper manner so that our members can be on a level playing field and be able to put food on the table and pay the mortgage and pay the child care. So, you know, it's really difficult. I have members who email me and say, really this is what my union is doing, wanting me to wear a sticker? Yes, it may not fix Phoenix tomorrow because you're wearing that sticker, but employers have to report. Every action we take, no matter how small, no matter how big, the employer has to report. Back in the day when I was a local president, I was always on the front steps of my building doing plant gates, giving information, having them wear stickers, because I knew they had to write a report. So, you know, you want your managers to know that you're annoyed. They have to write the report and they have to send it up to Treasury Board. So while you may be thinking, another sticker, another wristband, it is really, really important. It's a show of solidarity, and it shows the employer we're not backing down and we're not going away. I want to thank our membership because it has been a year and a half of some pretty trying times. Some of our members have been through the ringer. Others who haven't been hit at all by Phoenix, I think, have been very supportive. It's certainly not been an easy time for any of the unions. We have been pushing the government and pushing the government. The government will say that they've been doing everything that they can do, and will say you need to do more. That's their job. Their job is to pay their employees. So we will work with them, we will push them, and we will do everything in our power to make sure that our members get paid.